Hello and welcome to another Royal Reviewer live weekly chat. And I hope you've all had a very voluptuous week. I know I have, as always. Now, I'm just going to go and find the chat window. Hopefully no technical troubles tonight. I did pre-open the chat window, but do bear with me again because the writing is so small. And I can see that quite a few of you already got to the chat beforehand. So I'm just going to do some really quick hellos. So hello to Jen. Hello to Duchess of Cambridge. Hello to... oh, actually, there's quite a big chat going on between Jen and Duchess. Let's just scroll down and see who else is in. We have Sandy in the house. So hello to Sandy. And hello to Nina. And also hello to... Is that Heath? Heath Jarvis. Hello to Heath. So as always, the format is exactly the same. Leave a comment, say hello. If you've got a question, you can ask me. We can talk about current events that have happened, upcoming events that are going to come up in the future. Anything you like that is royal related. Hello to Candice as well, and hello to MSMB, and hello to David, and hello to Siam Moon. Candice says, hi there, hope you've had a great week. Yes, I have. And I'm back in my kitchen, not in my living room today. Sandy says, hi, Elliot, love your shirt. Thank you very much. I've chosen this one today because it's floral, because the Queen did a, well, kind of a speech and kind of an interview, a cross between a speech and an interview for a radio channel in the UK. And it was about the gardens and house at Frogmore. So I thought, what better than to have some nice floral prints? And I've gone for the brooch that Prince Albert gave to Queen Victoria for their wedding. Hello to Avril, who is in Canada. And hello to Darla, who is in North Carolina. Northern California, rather. I see, I told you this writing is so small. In fact, if anyone knows how you make the writing bigger, please let me know, because I really can't see it. In fact, I'm just going to have a little quick thing. No, I really don't know how to make it bigger. Oh, actually, can I zoom in? How do you zoom in? I don't want to start fiddling in case I lose it. There must be a way of zooming in somehow. Oh, I just have. What have I done now? Okay, I have just done something and it zoomed in. No, it's back to normal now. Okay, I'm not going to fiddle with it in case it goes completely wrong and I can't see everyone. Because I really don't want to lose everybody. James Medford says, hello Elliot, in the doctor's waiting room due to a toothache. Oh my goodness, I hope your tooth gets better. What a place to watch me from. Okay, so it has been a fairly fast week, but there have been a few days where I haven't made videos, and that's because on some of the days there wasn't actually that much royal news to bring you. And before you all mention it, there is some breaking news about a female that has been arrested outside of Buckingham Palace. And she was arrested because she was attempting to climb the Buckingham Palace gates. She didn't get very far. She didn't get on the premises whatsoever. We don't think it's anything serious. There was no terrorist attempt or anything like that. We think it's just some random lady who just decided to climb the gates of Buckingham Palace. Could be alcohol related, but just what I'd let you know that it is breaking news on the royal scene, but it isn't serious. So don't get sucked in if loads of other channels and web Facebook groups or whatever is really going over the top with it. It literally is just someone tried to climb the gates and got pulled down. So nothing serious to report there, but I thought I'd mention it anyway. Okay, Rhonda says it's 10 AM here in New Zealand and you're having your coffee. Well, I've got my tea, so I hope you've all got your favourite drink. But mine's still really, really hot. Now, I really, really, really do want to try and make this screen bigger, but I really don't know how. Maybe if I... No. So I thought if I press the plus button on my keypad, it might make it zoom in. Oh, I've done it. I've done something. I've made it bigger. Okay. I use my two fingers, and I've got a little mouse finger pad on my laptop, and I just kind of, a bit like you would on an iPad, you kind of zoom in, and I just tried that, and it worked. And the writing's gone bigger, and I can kind of see. Okay, that's a lot better. Duchess of Cambridge says, in a few moments I connect with you on Hangouts, which is really good. Okay. Jessica B says, hello Elliot, I've changed my name from Meg Princess to your real name of Francesca. How am I today? I am fine, thank you very much. And I'm even better now I can see what you're all saying. Duchess of Cambridge says, I love Elliot's channel and you guys. Well, thank you so much. Darla says, going into abilities should take you to change the type size. But I think I've just figured that one out. And you can actually use your little finger pad on your laptop if you've got a laptop. So if you didn't know that, like me, then I've just discovered it. Lady Buckingham, otherwise known as Dawn, says, hi everyone. That was an experience trying to get on tonight. Oh no. And Darla says it's 2:05 in California. Duchess of Cambridge says, Elliot is the best YouTuber ever. Well, I've got some YouTubers I really love, and I think they're way better than me. Not royal related though. But yeah, I watch some YouTubers, and I'm really pleased that other people take the time to watch me and my channels and what I'm interested in. Francesca's laughing because I said I used my two fingers. Well, I did. I used my two fingers to manipulate the pad, and it worked. If in doubt, always use two fingers. That is my tip. That is my life hack. The first Mrs. R says, one of the things I like the most is that whenever I see something on Elliot's channel, I know that it's true. I always try my best, as always, to bring you the latest up-to-date news, original videos as well, but also staying truthful and always bringing you stuff that's reliable. Because whenever I look at news, I don't want to see fake news myself. Okay, just to round up on the Prince Harry whole Invictus Games series, of course that's all finished now. I did make a video last week about the fact that he kissed Meghan in public. So please let me know what you all thought about that kiss. Sealed with a kiss. What do you all think? And he met Jill and Joe Biden. So that's all the Prince Harry Invictus Games things all wound up. Sandy says, yes, Elliot is truthful and not biased. I do try. Okay, and we have Jamie in the room too. Hello to Jamie. Candice says, I really loved your voice when the Queen was talking about Frogmore. It was excellent. And yes, well, of course, it's amazing. You know, the Queen never gives interviews, so that is kind of as close as you're going to get, I think, to an interview. That and maybe the time when she sat down with Prince Charles to watch their own home movies are probably the closest kind of times that you're ever going to get to an interview. So I really enjoyed it, and it was quite a surprise because I didn't even know that was coming. So please watch that video where the Queen talks about Frogmore. It is really, really good. So, and of course, it's in her own words, it's in her own voice, so that makes it even more special. Okay. Flua Francesa says, Elliot is not just any YouTuber, he is a Royal M&S YouTuber. Yes, thank you so much to be compared with M&S. A bit like the advert. A bit like advert. Okay, Jamie says the Queen's voice is so cute. It is, and I think it's a bit like a fine wine. It's kind of got better with age. MSMB 2012 says, Elliot, when do you think an engagement might be announced? Well, we kind of spoke about this last week, and I think any time now is a possibility. Let's not discount any time now. There are a few things upcoming that they might not want to clash with. So if they don't do it within the next few weeks, I would say the most likely time would be after she's finished all of her suits work, which is in December, but before Prince Harry goes to Sandringham, which would enable her to go to Sandringham too. So I would say anytime now or just before Christmas. But of course they could surprise us and just do it any old time. Okay, Jamie says, did the Queen say she was sort of an expert at gardening? Well, as we know, the Queen does love gardening, and she likes, I think one of her favourite flowers is roses, and she does take a keen interest in the gardens in all of her homes. I know Prince Philip also has played a hand in designing some gardens too. I think he designed the main garden that they can see from their quarters windows at Windsor Castle. So they're a couple that both really enjoy gardening and gardens, and of course that love of gardens was passed on to Prince Charles. Okay, and don't worry if you spelled my name wrong, I really don't mind. The first Mrs. R says, do you think she met the Queen when she was in Scotland a few weeks ago? Oh, who are we talking about? I'm not sure who. Oh, you mean Melania Trump? Who was going to meet the Queen? Let me know. Okay, HW says, Elliot, I was pleased to read that the Queen has 4 alcoholic drinks per day. No wonder she enjoys her life so much. Well, I mean, I take that with a slight pinch of salt. I mean, I'm sure it's not a rule that she has to have 4 every single day. You know, that's probably on a good day that she has 4. But I certainly think, you know, she has her own version of wine o'clock, where she does indeed have a little tipple, but not too much. Odia says, hi all, happy Thanksgiving to those in Canada. Oh my goodness, is it Thanksgiving in Canada? I did not know. So yes, wherever you are, if it's Thanksgiving for you, then I really wish you the best of times. Happy Thanksgiving. David says, yes to the Frogmore question, Victoria and Albert. They absolutely adored Frogmore too, and of course they are buried in the Royal Burial Ground at Frogmore in a big mausoleum. But the Queen was kind of quoted as saying, well, mentioning rather, the Heathrow flight path, because the airport is built obviously fairly close, and there is some slight noise nuisance from aeroplanes overflying, and Prince Philip found it really fascinating when a tourist, well, he must have overheard a tourist saying, why did they build Windsor Castle so close to Heathrow? Well, of course it wasn't, was it? Heathrow was built way after Windsor Castle. So Prince Philip always finds that rather funny. Yes, if I've paused or if I've frozen, please refresh or restart your computer. That usually sorts out any problems. Norks Pebble says, Meghan and Harry, I think it's just fantastic. I do too, and I hope they're very, very happy. Okay, another question. Is it true that Her Majesty the Queen does not like blueberries? I'm not quite sure it's a taste. I think, like many things with the Queen, it's a practical reason, and that is that, you know, blueberries, raspberries, anything like that tend to kind of stain teeth, or might leave a mark, or if you get something down you, it might stain the clothes. So I think I would be reserved at the fact that she doesn't like blueberries. I would imagine she probably likes the taste, but I would imagine it's a practical reason that she doesn't like the staining that could be obtained from blueberries. I mean, imagine if she ate some and then she had all blue teeth. I don't think she'd like that. James or Jamie says, missed last week's chat, so apologies in advance if I bring up old news. Don't worry, I really don't mind. MSMB says, I've missed the last several chats, so no worries. Of course, it never matters. If you ever miss any, you can just watch them on catch up. Rhonda says, if Harry marries Meghan, will she be known as Rachel or Meghan? Good question, and one which we've pondered before. Of course, Rachel being her real name, Meghan actually being her second or her middle name. I think it would be a good reset for her to go back to her proper name as Rachel. It would be a good separation from her past life, and a good kind of nod to her future. So I kind of hope she does take Rachel, but of course she may stick with Meghan. But I have a feeling she may go for Rachel. Candice says, Melania Trump always appears so much more relaxed when she's without the president. Just saying. And I think we'll leave that at that one. OG said, your video regarding the Frogmore Cemetery was interesting, showing Edwin and Wallace hidden under a tree far away from the other royals buried there. I have no idea. Very telling. Well, yes, I mean, some people are saying that they Edward okayed his final resting place, and in a way, I'm sure he did. But I have a theory that it's possibly that he accepted that kind of a plot, possibly just so he could be buried at Frogmore. Of course, he may have been completely happy with it, but it does look, it does appear a little bit odd that they are so far away. But I'm sure you can make up your own minds about that, and only the people that are probably no longer here really know the truth about that. Okay, Jamie says, reading a book on the Queen, and it accounts someone, but you can't remember, with the Queen in Windsor Castle, and okay, it's gone up, and every plane that passed overheard she was saying Boeing 747 Airbus. Yes, of course, Windsor Castle is again very close to a flight path, so perhaps she kind of learnt to recognise what they are. Maybe she's a plane spotter. Who thinks the Queen could be a plane spotter? The first Mrs. R says, sorry, I met Meghan. Do you think she will meet the Queen when she was in Scotland with Harry? I think my computer is putting me on the slight delay. Okay, so usually an unengaged girlfriend does not meet the Queen. Of course, if they have been engaged already, which we think that they possibly have been since their African trip, then it's highly possible that Harry has already introduced Meghan to the Queen. But we don't know for sure, so I can't possibly comment. Of course, when the engagement is officially announced, then, of course, we can safely say that she probably has already met the Queen. But until then, we don't really know. But tentatively, if they are engaged already, then it is highly possible that the Queen has met her. The first Mrs. R says, any news on the Duchess of Cambridge's health? And when might she be returned to public life? As far as we're aware, she's still suffering from the morning sickness, but we don't know how severe it is or if it's got any better. But we know that when Prince William has been out on engagements and he's been asked about it, he's been saying that she's doing well, but she's still not quite up to kind of being in public or kind of anything really. But I'm sure she's got the best of care, the best doctors, the best healthcare professionals all around. So fingers crossed for a speedy recovery, and I'm sure the sickness can't possibly last too much longer. Tina says, are you for real? Do you do this all week? Well, I am real. The last time I pinched myself, I'm real. And I make videos all week, but it's not what I do entirely. I do have a full-time job as well. Heath Jarvis says, one of my teachers met Prince William at Norfolk, as well as my grandmother's aunt. I would love to meet one of the royals. I haven't yet. Lots of people ask me if I've met a royal, and no, I haven't. But I would really love to. Okay, Nina says, is there any news about how Katie's doing? I think I've just kind of answered that, but nothing official. Ohio says hello from Ohio. And Steve says, hi, and you finally got on this week. Well, welcome to the chat, finally. Don't know why, but last week you just couldn't get on. And you're a bit late, you've had a hectic day. Don't worry, you can always watch them on catch-up. And I'm not quite sure what your technical problems were, but I'm glad you've got over them now. Okay, Jamie says, I wonder if the Queen is relaxing in Windsor and just shouts at the planes, do you ever bugger off, you lousy machines? Well, I'd imagine that's more Prince Philip style, actually. I can imagine that in his voice, actually. But maybe the Queen's just grown to love them, who knows? Okay, Nicole says, oh, just talking about some of the stuff that's going on in the chat. HW says, I completely agree with you. They will not marry. I think they will, but we will see. Okay, Duchess of Cambridge says, Kensington Palace has said that William and Catherine and Harry would attend the Heads Together dinner reception at Kensington Palace. Let's see if Catherine's going to appear. I'm sure it's the intention that she will, but of course, if she is too poorly on the day, or even the day before, then they could cancel her part. But I'm sure even if she doesn't go, that event will still go ahead with William and Harry. Okay, the first Mrs. R says, Her Majesty was in the army during World War II. She might be something of a plane spotter. It's a possibility that she might be. Okay, Nina says, Catherine must be in her 3rd month now, so should be getting better soon. And I hope so, and I'd imagine all expectations are that she will. Okay, Melody says, I wonder what Meghan thinks about all the intense scrutiny she's receiving. Becoming a member of the royal family is much more commitment than the typical marriage proposal. Let's not forget that even though she's a commoner and technically a foreigner, I say with inverted commas, she is used to media attention. She chose, her own profession of being in the spotlight. So I think she's kind of used to that. But of course, with being a royal, it kind of ups the intensity level a lot more. But I think, compared to Catherine, say, or even Diana, she's in a far better place to deal with the attention. Ohio loved the kiss. I thought it was rather nice they did that too. And of course, Harry seems very comfortable hanging out with her mother. Okay. I know there's some comments going on the live chat window, some of which I've not spoken out, and I'm just kind of trying to stick to the royal questions rather than any drama. So if I haven't mentioned any of the drama, don't worry about it. The first Mrs. R says, have I seen the ITV sitcom The Windsors? And if so, what do I think about it? A friend from the UK sent you a few episodes. I watched 1 or 2 and I hated them. I thought it was very, I thought it was ridiculing them. And of course, I haven't got, a personality thing where I can't recognise humour. You know, I know it's trying to be humorous, but there's humour, there's parody, and then there's trying to be horrible and trying to cause trouble. And I got very much a sense from that show that it was very much going towards the left wing of politics, and it was very much anti-monarchy. It's got lots of anti-monarchy Republican tones and themes in it, so I didn't like it. And the people that are behind it are very kind of well-known anti-monarchists as well. So I think the agenda wasn't just to have a parody. I mean, I love parodies. I love the sketches that you can find on YouTube. Is it Tracy Ullman that does Camilla? I love the parodies. But the Windsor's TV show, no, I really don't like it. And I think it has undertones which I really do not like. Okay, Jamie says, the Queen watches the planes come in. 14 million for the collection trust, 10 million pounds for the collection trust. Okay, HW says, Janet seems to be the Americans versus Brits. Okay, Ohio says, Harry already knew Dr. Biden. There's a video of a White House tea back in 2012 of Michelle Obama, Dr. Biden and Harry honouring vets and their families. Of course, not vets as in pets, vets as in veterans. Jamie says, wonder if Catherine ever punches herself. Imagine being normal like us, and the next year you're in the Queen's sitting room giving her a peck on the cheek and playing with the corgis. I know, imagine. Annette says, oh, hang on. Francesca says, rather, Meghan has intellect and a university degree and is a person against bullying. Yes, she's very intelligent, and you know, she's one of the things I like about her is that she's, you know, pulled herself up by her bootstraps from, you know, her humble beginnings, and she's changed her life herself and made something of herself, and I think that's very commendable. Annette says Meghan is an actress. She can put on a show, no problem. However, there are no retakes. That is a very key point to make, I think. But I think, you know, as long as you kind of adapt to monarchy in your own way, which I think the new members of the royal family are allowed to do these days, you don't really go that far wrong. Nort's Pebbles thinks Meghan will handle it well. I do too. Lady Buckingham, or rather Dawn, says, is the Trump visit still on for this month? I have not heard anything about it since it was put off to October. Well, funny you should mention that, because I was in the Houses of Parliament yesterday. I actually visited, and I've got a video coming up about that. But I asked the tour guides when I was there, have you heard anything about the Trump visit? And they hadn't. So I'm assuming it's not on, unless they haven't been told anything. So I'm thinking it's not on, but who knows? The plan could be just to whisk him in kind of at the last minute unannounced, so as not to build up any tension. So let's not go too much from the lack of knowledge of the tour guides. But they couldn't confirm anything, and they certainly genuinely didn't seem, you know, to know that there was a visit upcoming. So I would say tentatively that it's not on, but don't be surprised if at the last minute there is a visit. Who knows? Tina says, will Fergie, or rather Sarah Ferguson, Duchess of York, be at Windsor for Christmas? I think she visited last year, if my memory doesn't serve me or do me a disservice. You know, she was there in the summer, so why not pay a little visit at Christmas? MSNB says Tracy Ullman is brilliant. I do love her sketches of Camilla. You see, those sketches are funny, but but I think that Windsor's TV series, no. HW says, Jimmy Sam, you're the rude one. Oh no, let's try and stay away from dramas. Melody says, I was happy to see how comfortable Meghan's mom seemed with Harry and their friends. She's handling the attention as well as Meghan has. Again, she seems a lovely lady. I don't know much about her, but she seems a really, really nice woman and getting on well with Harry. Odia says, love the Tracy Ullman parody of Camilla. Haven't seen the Windsors. Don't think we get that program here in Canada. Be thankful you don't. And Annette says, Trump has a Puerto Rico tragedy to deal with. I agree. He's probably got lots of other things to do too. Norks Pebble says, have I seen the Victoria film with Judi Dench? No, I haven't. And to be honest, it's not one that I'll probably go and see at the cinema. So maybe when it's out on DVD, I'll probably get that one then. MSNB says, oh, interesting. That would be very funny if they cancelled the visit. We shall see. Well, I'm not sure if one was ever actually and properly set up. We shall, but yes, you're right. We shall see. The first Mrs. R says, Meghan Markle also attended one of the most competitive universities in the US, did a double major and graduated with high marks. I have much respect for her intellect and hard work. I do too. I think she's going to be a breath of fresh air to the royal family and makes Harry very happy. Jamie's speculating if they invited Trump and he landed and he was denied entry, I don't think he would ever board a plane to the UK unless he was certain he was going to get in. Oh dear says, looking forward to my video on my visit to Parliament. It will probably be out tomorrow because there's a lot of editing involved with it, and to be honest, they kind of surprised me a little bit because you could kind of film in areas that I would have probably thought that you couldn't film, but then areas that you see all the time on TV, like the House of Commons and the House of Lords, those are the areas that you couldn't film in. And I don't know why. It kind of does it a bit of a disservice because actually I think if people, saw from clips on YouTube that you could go and see these different things, I think it would sell a lot more tickets to Parliament. I don't think it would have the effect of not making people want to go. I think people would look at it and think, even though I can see it in front of me on the screen, I want to be there myself because it was so amazing. It was really amazing to walk the processional route that the Queen makes for the state opening of Parliament, and that's what I did. I kind of started off in the Sovereign's entrance, and it was really amazing being there and standing where she stands, walking up the steps. Although I couldn't see the lift, I didn't see the lift that she uses because there was a group of tourists in the way. But anyway, at the top of the stairs, you don't realise it's such a little short distance into the robing room. I went into the robing room, and it was amazing, really amazing. There's big massive portraits, an ornate ceiling. Queen Victoria's throne was there, a portrait of Queen Victoria and Prince Albert on either side of the throne. It was absolutely amazing. Then you walk through the big sort of royal gallery, and there's portraits of the Queen and Prince Philip and the Queen Mother and King George and loads of other royals. There's some frescoes on the wall. You walk through that. I walked through the same door the Queen goes into the House of Lords, where there's the big gilded throne. I saw that. So I basically traced her steps. It was truly amazing. Then we walked out the other way, walked through the main route that Blackrod goes to bang his stick on the Commons door. I saw the statues of Winston Churchill and Margaret Thatcher. It was amazing. Walked into the Houses of Commons, and it's just so amazing being there. All the things that you see on TV, and then you're actually there, and it's so small. It's such a small little room, and there's a visitors gallery above that's behind like this sort of darkened glass. probably for security reasons. I basically almost touched the dispatch box. I was that close. It was truly amazing. So some of the rooms I wasn't able to get videos, but I'm kind of putting photographs in there and talking over the top so that you can see the route that I went. So I've incorporated in this video all the footage I was able to get. We're mixed with photographs of the rooms that I went to, which I can talk you around. So it was amazing, and I certainly think if they let you film in all of it, it wouldn't stop people from wanting to go, because I would watch a video like that and think, well, okay, someone else has been there, but I really want to go there. So it was truly amazing. It was a day trip, so I didn't have long in London. It was literally train there, underground, see the Houses of Parliament, train, back. So it was a lot to do in one day. So I really hope that you enjoy that video when it's out. And MSMB says, looking forward to seeing that. And Annette says, the Parliament sounds wonderful. Can't wait for the video. David says, how are British citizens represented in Parliament? Okay, oh, well, at the very, very start of the tour, because I went into the education centre, we were sat in this room, and it went through the whole history of Parliament. And it was a 4-wall projection. So imagine sitting in the middle of a room, and each wall there was a projection on, and it was happening all around you, and it literally told the whole story of Parliament. So that was a really good thing too. So how are the British citizens represented in Parliament? Well, basically we have the Queen as the head of the country, and also the head of the Church of England. Below her is her government, which is represented. There's a Prime Minister and a cabinet, like Minister of Education, Chancellor of the Exchequer that does the money. So lots of different ministers, and then there's also MPs. So the cabinet members are also MPs. So we, the public, vote for our local area called our constituency when we have a general election, and that decides our MP, Member of Parliament, which sits in the House of Commons and debates and creates our laws. And also the winning party forms the government. I hope that maybe I'll probably do a video on that, but the Parliament tour was absolutely amazing and I would recommend it. So please, if you are in London, don't miss out. Go to it. The first Mrs. R says, your trip sounds lovely. I can't wait to see it. Poop Pants says, do you like pizza? Yes. Candice says, I'm looking forward to the Parliament video. Oh, but going back to the pizza, I don't like too much pizza. I like little bits. So maybe 2 or 3 slices of pizza and maybe some salad and maybe a little bit of pasta. You know, I like it as a kind of, not just a pizza. Oh dear says, thanks for letting us know about the areas in Parliament that you were not allowed to film. Our governmental system is much the same, so of particular interest to me, and look forward to seeing the video. It really wouldn't stop people from going. I really don't know why, because the House of Commons, the House of Lords is televised daily, so why won't they let you film in it? It was just really strange. And like I say, the people that are interested in Parliament are going to want to go there to be there themselves. That's the whole point. The point is that you can see it on TV. You know, these are rooms that you see on TV all the time, but the difference is that you're there. That's the bit. So I really don't, you know, my feedback to Parliament would be, let people film, let people take pictures, because if anything, it's going to spread the word that it's there for people to visit in the first place. So that's my only feedback for them. Oh, by the way, security was really, 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 really tight. You know, officers with machine guns, you have to take your belt off and your bags and everything to get scanned in. So security was really tight, but it did make you feel safe. North Pebble said the robing room, that sounds amazing. Did you need reservations? It was booked. It was a booked trip. Poop Pants says, how many people in Parliament live in London? Well, obviously, most of the people, the MPs, have a constituency, so they have a home in their constituency. So most of them, unless they're really, really wealthy, tend not to have a London home. And I really do need to clear my throat, so do apologies. There we go. Yeah, so not, you know, I think in times gone by, more of them had homes in London. Since the expenses scandal that we had probably 10 years ago now, second homes in London have kind of become less and less and less, and most people commute in or stay in hotels. Annette is making caramel apple while chatting. Yes, please share. Steve has been to Parliament and says it was a really good tour. And oh, Jamie made scones. I do like scones with butter and cream. MSMB made toast and coffee. HW says, what is my favourite biscuit? Oh, well, it's got to be a chocolate one. Do you know what? I like a chocolate finger. I really do. And there's a particular type of chocolate finger called Fabulous Fingers, and they're a little bit different. So I love a fabulous finger. I really do. I know. I can sense a beaver moment coming on. I'm laughing at Fabulous Fingers. Leo is watching from Brazil. So hello to you. James Samuel, or Jamie, says security at Buckingham Palace and Windsor Castle is exactly the same as an airport, not Kensington Palace though. Well, that's interesting. The first Mrs. R says, my guess is that on TV they carefully control what areas of Parliament you can see. If a tourist is taking pictures, they might be creating a map of the space. To be fair, I mean, I looked when I was making this video because I wanted to include a layout map of the route that I went through Parliament, and there's loads of them. So there already is maps and routes. So I really still don't get why you can't take footage in it. But then the areas that I would have thought you couldn't take footage in, like for example the Sovereign's entrance, walking up the stairs, you could. So, you know, it was kind of go figure. I kind of had to ask the tour guide in each room, can I take photos and video? But yeah, some of the ones you just couldn't. So to make the full video, I'm having to kind of just get photos and talk through what I saw in the space. So it's kind of a half vlog video, if you can kind of picture that. Okay, oh dear says, I used to work for the Legislative Assembly in Manitoba, Canada in your 20s. Visitors were not allowed to enter the MP's assembly for security reasons, but could book through the roped-off doorway. Jamie's laughing. I love a fabulous finger. I do love a fabulous finger. They are fabulous. Maybe for next week I will buy some and I will taste one. I will taste a fabulous finger for you. Okay, Eugene Soft says, in Russia, activity disseminating information about killing of the Queen. What do you think of this? Do you mean if people talk about killing the Queen, they can get arrested? Is that what you're trying to say? I'm sure that any threat on the Queen's life would be investigated, and I'm sure, you know, the serious ones would be weeded out. And probably only the serious ones would be kind of actioned. Sandy says, can you touch on the Earl and Countess of Wessex's engagement this week? Yes, they have been to Brunei. So they met with the Sultan of Brunei, and they also met with the Gurkha soldiers. in this kind of forest jungle area. So they are representing the UK government on official work. So these tours are planned. They aren't a holiday. They are planned by the UK government to help relations. There's usually a theme of a visit. Possibly the theme of this one could be kind of doing trade post-Brexit. Could also be about strengthening the ties. We know the kind of Gurkha soldiers have had a huge impact on the UK military. So that was kind of taken into account on the visit. And they've had a very successful royal tour so far. So please do go and check out those videos. There are lots and lots of photos. Jamie says, they're security guards every now and then, but at Kensington was completely different to the others. You could take unlimited photos everywhere. Well, I'm going to have to go there then. HW says, James Samuel enjoys a long magical finger, so noted. Well, my fabulous fingers are the best, and they are so delicious. Candice says, how different are fabulous fingers to Cadbury's fingers? I love the latter. Well, they are the same. They are made by Cadbury's. It's just like a variation. I think they have like a dark chocolate coating, like the normal chocolate finger, but then they've got like a white coating on the inside with the biscuit in the middle. They are lovely, and I love dunking my chocolate fingers on my fabulous fingers in tea. Oh, Sheila is in Jamaica and making chicken soup. I do like chicken soup. Jamie says, not even joking, I think there's fabulous fingers in my fridge. I love a fabulous finger. That's going to be the quote. I'm going to change the title of this video to Royal Reviewer loves fabulous fingers, because I do. In fact, if I could be sponsored by Fabulous Fingers, that would be a good match, because I eat them. HW says, how are my funny furry babies, Molly and Rory? They're outside, and I will let them in after the chat. Annette says, I don't like Brunei for their human rights policies. And of course, many countries, don't have the same human rights policies that we do. But nevertheless, they are countries that have to be dealt with, and they provide, good trading links, and obviously supplying the UK with Gurkha soldiers. So even though we might not agree with everything that they do, I'm sure that there is some common ground that can be met on and agreed on. Okay, there was also a video I made this week about the Queen opening a roof garden, which I thought was really lovely. So she was taking a short break from her annual summer holiday at Balmoral in Scotland. She hasn't got long left now. Well, in fact, actually, that's one thing that I did kind of have to correct one of the tour guides on, in fact. Was that when someone asked, where is the Queen, they said the Queen's at Buckingham Palace. And I turned around, I couldn't help myself. I said, no, she's not. She's at Balmoral in Scotland. And they said, oh, we stand corrected. And of course, I don't blame them, because they aren't paid to be royal experts. They're paid to know all about the Houses of Parliament and the state opening of Parliament, not the Queen's whereabouts on a daily basis. But I did put them right. She's not at Buckingham Palace, she's still at Balmoral. So I did have to correct them. Arthur Chateau, the Queen's great nephew, so Princess Margaret's daughter's son, that's what we're talking, has posted more revealing pictures on Instagram. The naughty, naughty boy. So he's topless again in these photographs, and I'm sure the ladies and some boys have had their eyebrows raised at these photographs. He seems to love posting them, and I'm sure some people love looking at them. So if you want to see a shirtless, topless Arthur Chateau parading himself, do go and watch that video, and let me know what you think about it. Prince Charles has been rescuing sea turtles. A really lovely video with some video footage as well, of Prince Charles releasing sea turtles into the wild. And when people ask me about what kind of king he'll be, I've always said I think he'll be known as, even if he takes the name George, I kind of call him Charles the Conscientious, because he always has been, and he's always been at the forefront of kind of what's going to become on trend. And at the moment, we're all being made aware of oceanic plastics and plastics in the ocean causing trouble. And of course, you know, I saw a video about this poor turtle. He had literally a plastic straw, like the type you get at McDonald's or KFC, lodged all the way in this turtle's nose. And there's a video of it being pulled out, and the poor turtle's nose is bleeding, and it's horrible. And Charles has been championing for years about the environment, and you know, trying to make good choices and things that are biodegradable and sustainable. And it's come to the point where we really do need to take heed of all these warnings. You know, there are whales that are being killed because their stomachs are full of plastic, because of things that are in the ocean. So all of this work that he does is really highlighting that problem. But then you have to think, you know, what he's also championing is things like the wool trade, sustainable farming, sustainable forestry, because if you replace single-use plastics perhaps with paper-based products that are going to biodegrade a lot quicker and not cause as many problems, you have to think about where you're going to get the wood from. We wouldn't want the fact that we're not using plastics to then contribute to more deforestation. So we have to look at sustainable forestry, and that's another issue that he champions. So, you know, where I think King George, as he might be, or even King Charles, might add value to the world on the world stage, is that he will be very conscientious and forthcoming with his views on the environment, which I think not just the UK needs, I think the world needs. Okay, rant over. Oh dear says, don't say the Queen hasn't got long now. I meant it Balmoral. I don't mean her life. Candice says, Elliot, you are so cute when you're pretending to be serious. I love the blink. Okay. Nina says, Arthur is a little hottie. Please comment in the box below. Mary says, that was very good. I hope they thank you. Odia says, yes, more beefcake, bigger and better than the last. Steroid, silly man. Well, who knows? He does look a little bit bigger than the last one where he was in his pants. He could just be working out. He does do some things with the military. So, you know, we're not going to cast aspersions. Odia says, love the Prince Charles video of releasing the sea turtles. Would love to do that myself. It was really cute, and you know, I think more people need to be aware of that kind of issue. Annette says Prince Charles was alongside Queen Noor. His speech was very good. It was indeed. Phoebe says, will Harry lose his HRH status and line to the throne because of Meghan being an American and a divorcee? No, he won't. He won't at all. In fact, she will be incorporated into the royal family. She will be given a HRH status and style. If he's given a dukedom, she will become a duchess. If not, she will be Princess Henry of Wales. Dawn says, everyone have a fabulous week. Looking forward to your video. I'm off to see The Wizard of Oz. Happy Thanksgiving to my Canadian friends. Bye for now. Really enjoy The Wizard of Oz. I really do love The Wizard of Oz. My favourite character is the witch. I'm melting. I love it. Okay. MSNB says Prince Charles is married to a divorcee. He is indeed. And no, that didn't displace him from his line of succession. Annette says happy Thanksgiving to all the Canadians. Oh dear says we have lots of paper and wood here in Canada. Help yourself. We are able and willing to sell biodegradable paper products. Well, I mean, loads of countries in the world could find a new trade in, you know, biodegradable paper products if they start doing this sustainable forestry. I mean, it might take, you know, 10, 20 years to get the wood up, ready for harvest, but it can be done. It really can. Melody says, I think Prince Charles could make a really important contribution as king. His interest in the environment is authentic and long-standing. It is indeed. It's very, very, very authentic. And I think he will. I think on the world stage, and especially as head of the Commonwealth as well, I think he will be able to drive a lot of those passions and interests, which I think the world should actually be quite welcome of and kind of embracing, because those are the topics of the time that we do need to address. Candice says Arthur has great biceps. I would share with him one of my fabulous fingers. Don't get me started on the fabulous fingers or beavers, pregnant beavers to be precise. Annette says you love the witch too. I love the witch. In fact, my favourite method of transportation is a broomstick. HW says yes, many similarities between Meghan Markle and Wallis Simpson. The only thing that separates those similarities, though, is time. And of course, times have changed. Oh, Jamie says, spill the beans on the PO box. In fact, I forgot to get all that information ready. I was going to tell you. Yes, I have a PO box address, finally. It's all set up. And to be honest, I've got, oh, where is it? I've lost the address. It's on a card I've written and it's not in this room. So I will definitely share it with you next week. I will put it on my video sign-offs as well, and I will post it on all the social media. I can't believe I forgot it. Oh my goodness. In fact, actually, I may have an example of it on my phone, possibly. I'm not sure if I took a photo of it. Let me see. I may have actually taken a photo of it. While I'm on my phone, by the way, it might be a good time to mention Raw Reviewer on Twitter. I have a Twitter account. I have an Instagram account and several Facebook groups, including a Patreon page. So if you want to be a supporter, you can go to Patreon and become a Raw Reviewer patron, and you get special rewards for doing that. No, I don't think I took a photo of it. So I will have to let you know. The reason why I can't remember it is because it's Royal Reviewer YouTube, PO Box and a number, and then the rest of the address. So I need to get that for you, don't I? Which I will do for next week. But I do have one, so you'll be able to send me anything you want. And in fact, next week I also need to send out my Christmas cards for the Royals. MSMB is leaving, so have a great week and hopefully see you next week. Odia says, can I put my PO box on my Facebook? Yes, I can. I can't believe I forgot to get it. In fact, that was something I was going to write on my list, but I completely forgot. Okay, the Duchess of Cornwall was also this week at Aberdeen Airport. They have had a new extension, so she was there to open that, unveiling the plaque. And there was also a highlights video I posted today of all the kind of live footage that's available of that visit. So if you're interested, do take a look at that. Okay, I've answered all the things that I wanted to talk about on my list, so it really is over to you guys. Let's see if there's anything upcoming this week. Oh, Tuesday, it's World Mental Health Day. That's Tuesday the 10th of October 2017. And the Duchess of Cambridge and Harry are at a reception at Buckingham Palace. I think we spoke about that a little bit earlier. So hopefully Catherine will be able to make that one. The Duke of Cambridge on Thursday the 12th is at the New Zealand commemoration for the Battle of Passchendaele. And on Friday, I've got a little note for myself to send off my Christmas cards. And I don't think October is too early to send off the royal Christmas cards. I think I sent them a little bit too late last time, although I did get replies back before Christmas and some slightly after. But either way, I still managed it, and it did work. Francesca says, what am I going to do tomorrow? Well, I'm going to try and finish off this Parliament video. I usually do my ironing for the week ahead. That's very exciting, isn't it? I always start my day. Oh, shall I tell you what I do in the morning? Even if it's raining, I always go out into the garden and wake up with a cup of coffee or a cup of tea, depending on what mood I'm in. And I usually just sit there in the garden, just, you know, listening to the birds, or in fact, if it's raining, just listening to the raindrops on my umbrella. Then I usually come in and get dressed and get ready and showered and all the rest of it. Then maybe if I need to go shopping for the week ahead, I do a little bit of, you know, what I call a basket shop. I just get little bits and bobs for the week. Come back, maybe work on some videos. Then maybe have a little relax. Sometimes I may have an afternoon Sunday snooze on the sofa with the cats. Then it's time. Then it's kind of round about time for tea, ironing before tea, lots of cups of tea as well throughout the day, and then a relaxing evening. And of course, right about, well, tomorrow night it's Victoria, so I'm really looking forward to my hour-long episode of Victoria. So I get my Victoria fix. And I know you guys, some of you guys in America and Canada get it later, so I think you'll really love this new series of Victoria. It's really good. Jamie says, why did Camilla arrive to the airport sitting in the front seat of the car? So unroyal. To be honest, I don't know. Who knows? And you're completely right. It is, you know, it's not often done. They're usually in the back. Although we do see the Queen on occasions in the front seat, but not at official engagements. So one can just wonder at that one. Annette says, Camilla needs to take the marbles out of her mouth from elocution class. And James says, is Victoria TV series getting better and better? We have to wait in the USA. Yes, it's really, really good. I'm not going to give away any spoilers because I know a lot of my viewers are Canadian or American, and so I'm not going to give away too many spoilers, but all I'm going to say is watch it. In fact, when you guys watch it, you can talk to me about it and I'll talk about it then. So I'm not going to spoil it for you. Nina says, poor Camilla always gets the windy days. I love the windy shots. That's why I included it. You said she should wear a headscarf. I like the windswept, windy Camilla. Odia says, yes, do send the royal cards soon. It will be fun to have responses shown to us before Christmas, if possible. Hard to say. And I love those opening royal letters videos. So I love making them. I'm really hoping that you guys love to watch them. Odia says, you do have a lovely garden. Thank you. And I'm getting it all ready for the winter now. Steve says you should do a Victoria live chat. I don't want to spoil it for people though. I would do one, but I really don't want to spoil it. We can talk about it once it's out in USA and Canada. James Medford says, I do give Camilla credit for not being too over the top posh. Annette says, bye, gotta go, time to take out the pork roast. You're making me feel really hungry now. I'm gonna have to get a fabulous finger. Francesca says, what do I think about Mia Tyndall? I love Mia Tyndall. She's really adorable, really cute, and she's feisty. That's what we like from a royal. She's definitely her mother's daughter, and of course Princess Anne's granddaughter. You can definitely see the feistiness, the cheekiness. You know, I mean, you've even got to just go back to that photograph of her holding the Queen's handbag, and you know, when you see her at the horse trial and she's striding across all muddy and rough and tough and kind of, you know, leading this her little friend by his hand. She's just really cute and adorable, and I think she's going to be one to watch. And I think Zara and Mike have got their hands full when she gets older, definitely. But by the way, I've got my tea black today. Duchess of Cambridge says, "Hi Elliot, I love your flower shirt. You are very cool. Thank you so much." And as I said, I chose the floral today because of the Queen talking about Frogmore Gardens. And the Victoria brooch, the Prince Albert designed one, because Victoria and Albert had a huge connection to Frogmore too. Okay, Jamie says, "Well done to William fighting against the ivory trade, finally getting ivory banned in the UK." Yes, and that was a huge feat to achieve, a real sense of achievement. Because as we know, and I think I saw a stat today in the news that it's something like 52 elephants a day or something like that are being killed for ivory, and that's not sustainable. I mean, their numbers are going to just dwindle and dwindle and dwindle. And although the UK had, I think it was anything pre-1940 something was kind of okay to be traded, I think now that it's not, then it's going to help cut off a lot more of that supply. I think the UK came out as top for the exporter of ivory, actually, in all the countries, followed by the USA and possibly, was it Italy or something like that? So I think we had something like 35,000 pieces leaving the UK each year to be exported. And I think the US had 11,000, if I'm remembering the stats correctly. So it's really good now that that has been curtailed. There was a little bit of uproar, kind of from art dealers who say that some of the really historical pieces that may incorporate, you know, tiny embellishments of ivory, kind of makes them unsaleable and then kind of decreases their value because they can't be traded overseas. But I think it's definitely going to stop the kind of souvenir ivory trade, and it is a real feat. So congratulations to Prince William. Odia says, "The handbag photo with the Queen gets me every time. It's so cute." It is indeed. Nina says, "I hope Zara and Mike have another child." I think we all do, especially after last time. Duchess of Cambridge says, "Do I think Lady Amelia Windsor is the most beautiful girl in the royal family? But for you, it's Catherine." I don't think she's the most beautiful, although she is really pretty. I'm not quite. I mean, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. I'm going to leave that question at that, I think. Okay, Jamie says, "Wonder if Meghan's exclusive has anything to do with an engagement." Not with if it's a magazine or a TV interview or anything like that, I very much doubt it. Candice says, "Just to be clear, our Canadian Thanksgiving is on Monday, but you love Thanksgiving because your daughter Elizabeth was born over the Thanksgiving weekend on October the 12th, 1988. Okay, I remember it well. It was the year that I started school. HW says, "Mia Tyndall should be an excellent rider, and Zara knows that it's the best way to control vivacious girls." Well, I think the way to control a vivacious girl is with a fabulous finger. Girls who ride tend to get into less trouble. Pony love. ODS says, "I had no idea ivory was not banned in the UK. It has been banned here in Canada for a very long time." Interesting news. Well, it was banned for new ivory, but not something, I think it's pre-1940 something ivory. But new ivory was banned and has been banned for a while. James Medford says, can't wait for the new brooch to make its debut, and I'm expecting it sometime this winter. I'll be very upset if it's not. So if the Queen is watching, please wear your brooch, or else I will be completely disappointed. I'm relying on you, Your Majesty. You need to wear that brooch, possibly for your Christmas message. Odia says, official Thanksgiving is Monday, but it is the Thanksgiving long weekend, and we all have our gatherings in different ways, and yours was yesterday. I hope you had a fab time. HW says, Meghan Markle has skillfully insinuated herself into Harry's emotional life. She's working it as a support system guide. That's certainly one way to look at it. James says, I still think the Cambridges will have another girl. I think it'll be a girl. No, what did I say? Yes, I think a girl. But I'm hoping for a boy, because that will put that new rule that came into effect. It'll kind of make it mean something. So a boy won't displace Charlotte in the line of succession. Duchess of Cambridge says, Elliot, since when were you a YouTuber? You're so nice. Well, I mean, I started making videos on the royal family roughly 2 years ago, but I had huge gaps in between making videos, so I've only really been doing it like this for about a year or so. James Samuel says, started school in 1988. Wow. Yes, I did. 1988. I remember it well. James says, keeps imagining me as being 10 years younger than you are. Ooh, I'll go for that. 24 is good. I'll go with 24. It's all the fabulous fingers that keep me fabulous. HW says, I am more than confident that Queen Elizabeth does not approve of Meghan Markle at all. I think she does. I think she'd quite like her, actually. Francesca says, Elliot, the plant behind you, is it real or fake? I have to ask, it looks adorable. Do you mean that one? It's fake. Shh, don't tell anybody it's fake. But it looks good, doesn't it? Yes, it's my autumn floral display. James Med says, yes, the Queen still looks at horses with love in her eyes. Odia says, yes, no brooch. We are taking you off the Christmas card list. Yes, we will all be disappointed, Your Majesty, if you do not wear the Canadian brooch. We want to see the snowflake. Wear it, please. Jamie says, Elliot, that skin, the skin on me, is it real or fake? I have to ask. Do you mean this skin? It's real. And you want to know my secret to youthful skin and glow? If you do, let me know. North Pebble says, love your chats. HW says, James Samuel is such a court jester, so terribly funny. I can almost hear the bells ringing. HW says, Elliot, is that cup of coffee on the wall behind you real or fake? Do you mean that one? Well, it's real. And by the way, I don't have Botox, if anyone's wondering. I really don't. Jamie says, moisturising since 11, we already know. Yes. Have I mentioned it before? I think I must have. Yes, I moisturised since I was 11. Every single day without fail. And in fact, I've always used the same brand of moisturiser. So all these celebrities that kind of try and sell a brand new face cream and, you know, kind of say that they get their youthful skin because they've been using this cream. Rubbish. I've been using the same cream for many years that I even care to remember. Decades, in fact. And I can really say that that cream works. So yes, I do have a secret. In fact, I have several secrets actually. James Bedford says, I think you're right about the Christmas speech to give it a big debut. I really want to see it in the Christmas message. I really, really do. And if Your Majesty, if you're looking and you're watching, or any of your people are watching, please wear that for your Christmas speech. By the way, I also need to start planning my Christmas speech, because those of you who don't know, if you become a viewer kind of after Christmas of last year, I made a Christmas speech that went out live at 3 o'clock, the same as the Queen. I pre-recorded it, I wrote the speech, I did it with my Christmas tree behind me. So if you want to catch up on that message, do go and look for it. Just type in Royal Reviewer Christmas message or Christmas speech, and it should come up on the search. But I need to start planning my next one. Candice says, I keep thinking the Cambridges will have a girl as well, but you two are hoping for a boy, and you haven't come up with any boys' names yet, only girls. The boys' names are a lot harder to guess. Oh dear says, got to run, enjoy the chat, see you next week. Need to catch some sun before it goes. So Joseph Cambridge says, Royal Reviewer, for you, which woman is the most beautiful? Oh, who is the most beautiful? Oh, that's a hard one. Okay, I'm going to. Oh, I probably forgot someone, haven't I? Do you know what? I'm going to say the Queen, because for 91, she looks absolutely incredible. Her skin is amazing. She has her own classic look, so I'm going to say the Queen. Nina has to go, so goodbye to Nina. James says, you looked like Tsar Nicholas when you turned to the right there. Actually, I have been growing it slightly. I was going for George V, but I will accept Tsar Nicholas. There you go. Oh, James Ben says, no, George V. That's what I was going for. I was going for George V. James says, what cream? And Jamie's put, don't read this, and he's put a word. And no, that is not my secret cream. Okay, what cream? Simple. I always say you are what you put on your face, and I use Simple. Yeah, Simple. It's unscented, so it doesn't smell of anything. It's as natural as you can kind of be. It's unfragranced. I just love it, and I always use. There's a light Simple and there's a rich Simple, and I always use the rich. It's 12-hour protection, so I always put it on in the mornings, and then after I have my wash at night, I reapply, so it does me over night time. So I'm always moisturized, and I also sleep always with the window open, even in the snow, and I don't have the radiator on. So I like my bedroom to be morgue temperature, kind of. And I have a theory that kind of cold temperatures keep bodies preserved, and if they can keep bodies preserved, then I'm sure they can keep me preserved when I'm sleeping in my room. That could be me completely off the mark, but I have a theory, I'm sticking with it, and for me it works. So low bedroom temperature for sleeping, moisturize with Simple Rich Moisturizer twice daily. Always make sure you wash your face before bed, and then you will end up looking like me. Bay says, do you think Prince Andrew and Fergie will remarry, or are they just friends and being parents to their daughters? Well, I think there's a little bit of friends and being parents, but let's not forget partners are often always your best friend. I don't think they've ever really separated. I think their relationship is kind of complicated and complex. I think only they themselves really truly know what their relationship is or what they allow each other to do. You know, maybe they do allow each other to see different people. It could be one of those type of open relationships, but I don't think they've ever truly separated, in the sense of when people typically divorce and separate and set up new lives. They've never done that. So whatever their arrangement is, it works for them. I think, you know, for the moment, that's all we're going to know. Jamie says the Queen is the most beautiful because she has large beep, and I'm not going to say the rest. Jen says Theodore Louis for a boy. No, it's too French. Too French. Too French for the English. No, no, no. Candice says, HW, holy moly, this chat has gone downhill. Jane says, simple. L'Oreal, you're worthless. No, simple. Go with simple. The simpler the better. It works. HW says, the new royal baby will be a boy. He'll be born on 9th of April, and his name will be Alexander Philip Arthur Louis. Well, that's a better guess. I think that's probably a bit more like it. James says, how do you sleep with an open window? I would be paranoid. I sleep with an open window. James says, the Queen Mum always slept with an open window. Actually, I didn't know that. You've taught me something. Well, there you go. And she lived to 100, over 100. Question. Yes, so an open window, I'm sure I have something there. It's probably not scientific, but I have something there. Ohio says, unfortunately, this chat has been going to the dogs for a few weeks. The trolling is not fun or funny, it's getting old. And I've become fairly adept at not reading the trolling. Melody says, do you know what they do with the clothes the Queen no longer wears? They store them away. They certainly don't end up down the charity shop. I think sometimes on certain items, buttons might be reused. Sometimes the fabric can be reused. Although the Queen does have a really large stock of fabric that she already has. Maybe she's been given as gifts over the years, just waiting for the right time to be made into a new outfit. But most of the outfits are just simply stored away. Candice says, sleeping with the window open is wonderful, especially when it snows. And Jen says, you are French. Well, I think Alexander Louis is still too French for the English. HW says, Banal girl, you might want to check who brought up the word beep. And I'm not going to go into that one anymore. Duchess of Cambridge says, did you see when the Obamas went to Catherine and William's home? Oh my God, what a beautiful decoration. Did you like it? I made a video on it. Go find the video. It's in the playlist Homes and Vehicles, I think. James Medford says, did Prince Andrew really date Carolyn Stanbury from the show Ladies of London? We believe so. Bay says, I enjoy the chats. You do a wonderful thing for us to contact and chat, just saying. Well, that's one of the reasons why I did these live chats, was to kind of get everyone together and form a community, so there was at least one point in the week where we could all get together and share our love of the royal family. Jamie says, what photo is in the frame on the table to my left? It's a photo I took of the Statue of Liberty when I was in New York. There we go. So it's one that I took myself. Can you all see? Yeah, so it's looking up. Oh, there's a Rory hair on it. Let's remove the Rory hair. How did that get there? He must have been on the table. I've just discovered he's been a naughty boy. He's been on my table. There's a Rory hair. You wait till he gets in. Right, so yes, it's a photograph I took looking up at the Statue of Liberty, and that was in 2005. Okay, so I think we're going to end today's live chat here. Thank you for joining. I will definitely make sure I put the PO box address on all the social medias and on my on the video description of all my videos. I'll include it there, and also on the main page of my YouTube channel. I'll definitely repeat it again for next week. I will try and obtain some fabulous fingers to try in front of you. So yeah, so thank you so much for joining. Now, let me find the screen which turns it all off. Okay, so yes, like I said, thank you for watching. Please join me next week live 10 o'clock. It's always every Saturday. That's GMT, Greenwich Mean Time, so you can find out what time that is for you. So thank you for watching, and from me in Shropshire, goodbye.